huge shout out to DJ Maestro for joining us on the show. But he messed up my segment. You messed up my segment, Maestro. So look, we gotta put this out here. We gotta get right into Fact or Foolishness, and we gotta have some fun here. And it starts with Ron Washington, of course. Man, this was a horrendous call late in the game. Bases loaded, and he wants to put on a squeeze bunt. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't go the way Ron Washington and the Angels expect it to. Yet they end up losing the game, and Ron Washington throws his teammates under the he throws his team under the bus. Here goes. Well, first I'll show you the play in question. Here goes Ron Washington afterwards, explaining what happened throughout the play.
Like to see him hit one in the air to try to bring home the tying run. The runner is going. Guillorme misses the bunt. It's a tag out at the plate. Throw to third is not in time on Paris as the Angels try to squeeze. And Zach Neto tagged out at home by the catcher Pages.
Blame Guillorme missed it, but why did you want to call for that?
Lefty on lefty. I didn't sink a ball left-hander. I didn't want him to hit into a double play. He can handle the bat. He didn't do the job. It wasn't anything I did wrong. He didn't do the job.
Some good at bats.
I would have rather went to the ninth inning with a 6-6 lead than to went to the ninth inning the way we did. It didn't work out.
Childish isn't even the word to even describe this. And the fact that he was so confident in throwing Gilmore under the bus, and hey, look, it was his fault. He didn't get the job done. He's expecting this man to place a bunt down with it looked like a sinker down and away. Bro, what? And I always talk about, you're not gonna hit that with a broomstick. Same situation. And like to have this guy switch his bat with a broomstick, he's not hitting this ball at all. And the fact that he has to place a bunt down, he can't even get it down on the way. He has to pretty much fling his bat out there. And on top of that, Zach Neto, there's nothing he can do. He has to run home. And so they get put in a really, really awful situation. And like I said, this base is loaded. There's one out. I didn't want it to ground into a double play. Well, have some faith. This is your two-hitter. This is your guy that's supposed to come in. He's supposed to be more contact. He's not gonna be all power. You should expect him to go out there and put some runs on the board. So lefty on lefty, I can understand the matchup situation and all that, but you gotta have some trust. You gotta have some faith in your offense, especially with bases loaded with the game on the line. Oh, you didn't want to ground into a double play, so you put on a squeeze bunt. I'm sorry, that's just not. To me, that just wasn't the smartest decision to move on Ron Washington's part. And on top of that, to throw your team under the bus it's pitiful. I didn't do nothing wrong. He didn't get the butt down. Bro, the ball was way out of the strike zone. So if he was to hit it, this would have been an awful bunt to begin with. So honestly, I feel like Ron Washington was completely in the wrong in the situation. And we're going to be talking about him a lot more. I definitely can see it. If he's going to continue on with this, I guess you could say, behavior of throwing his team under the bus and not really taking responsibility. Because I couldn't even imagine Torey Lovullo coming out there telling Jake McCarthy to go out there and place a little squeeze bunt down. It doesn't work. I can't see Torey Lovullo called out there, oh, it's Jake McCarthy's fault. As much as we used to clown Torey Lovullo for just, oh, I'm happy about the team, happy for the team, I'm really proud of the guys. Honestly, he would handle this situation a whole lot better than what Ron Washington did. You got to be embarrassed. Well, Ron Washington. We got to talk about Dante DiVincenzo. I brought this up to Maestro earlier. Dante DiVincenzo and Miles Turner got into a little bit of a scuffle. It's an NBA scuffle. There wasn't no punches thrown. But they got into a little back and forth. And Dante DiVincenzo, he just chalks it up as the Pacers, they're just trying to act tough. Actually, going back to what Bobby Porter said in their round one matchup. Here goes Dante DiVincenzo and his thoughts on the Miles Turner incident.
They're trying to be tough guys, and that's not their identity. And there was nothing more to that. I just don't, I don't agree with trying to, walk up on somebody that nobody's gonna fight in the NBA. So take the foul, keep it moving. You're not a tough guy, just keep moving.
Now, usually I would agree because Pacers hater got it on my name tag somewhere, but just looking at how Dante DiVincenzo and Miles Turner went back and forth with each other, Dante DiVincenzo started it. Now, Miles Turner, he definitely dragged it on longer than what it needed to, but Dante DiVincenzo, he was getting a little bit too physical with Miles Turner and with the Indiana Pacers as a whole. They've kind of been, I won't necessarily say bullying him. He's had his moments where he has shined, for the New York Knicks, especially in their series with the Philadelphia 76ers. But when you're looking at Dante DiVincenzo on the defensive setting, on the defensive standpoint, he's getting cooked, absolutely cooked against the Indiana Pacers and against Tyrese Halliburton himself. So that's something that we have to look out. Dante DiVincenzo, just focus on your game, man. You know, we don't fight in the NBA. Guys trying to act tough. Honestly, we can kind of fit you into that category. And like I said, Maestro kind of teased it early on. I think I can agree with him on that sentiment that Dante DiVincenzo, you started it. You're kind of the problem here as well in this situation. We got to talk about Draymond Green. Draymond Green has just been throwing a bunch of shots left and right. Of course, one going over to Jusuf Nurkic, saying the Phoenix Suns don't have a big man in the league. Jusuf Nurkic going on Twitter, talking about that brother still needs help. That's the exact quote. So obviously Draymond Green still has some beef. He also has some beef with Rudy Gobert, and he didn't hesitate to throw some criticism at Rudy Gobert. Here goes Draymond Green explaining why Rudy Gobert is no match for Nikola Jokic.
Listen, there's a famous story of Rudy Gobert saying, listen, stay home on Joker. He said, brother, I got 42, and don't tell them to stay home. And right now, that's what's going on.
Sounds
Rudy
like
Gobert,
a personal DPOY versus the...
I gave him his credit this year.
All right.
I gave him his credit this year.
Okay.
But just like the Knicks fans, I'm a truth teller. And right now, the truth is Rudy Gobert don't stand a chance against Joker, and that's the difference in this series right now.
Now, I would usually say, oh, Draymond Green, he has a vendetta against Rudy Gobert. For those that have forgotten, Rudy Gobert got choked out. Not choked out, he got put in a chokehold and dragged across the NBA. And this sounds way worse than how I'm explaining it, but that's exactly what happened. Draymond Green went from behind, grabbed him, got a nice little chokehold on him, and pretty much just backed him up a couple feet. Exactly what happened. Which also led to Draymond Green just a couple weeks later punching Jusuf Nurkic. That brother needs help. Draymond Green gets suspended the whole 9 yards. He's not wrong though. He starts off his story with saying Jamal, and I believe it was Jamal Murray. I know for a fact it was Jamal Murray that had the story about Nikola Jokic, because he said Nikola Jokic doesn't usually talk trash. But one day Rudy Gobert was like, hey, stay home on Joker. Like, somebody, you got to stay home on Joker. And Nikola Jokic is like, I got 42. Like, it's just like, what do you mean? So when you're seeing stuff like that, and you're seeing Nikola Jokic and Rudy Gobert match up once again, Rudy Gobert is getting absolutely cooked. And it's nothing he can do. This is the defensive player of the year we're talking about. And if you've seen the game last night where Nikola Jokic would drop 40 plus, this man literally shooting over Rudy Gobert, just pretty much shoving him down low. And look, the post moves, phenomenal by Nikola Jokic. And don't even get me started for when Nikola Jokic gets at the top of the key. Once Nikola Jokic is locking eyes with you, and he's in triple threat position there, he's just pretty much figuring out, okay, am I gonna hit one of these Magic Johnson passes? Am I gonna pop a three in this man's face? Or am I just gonna drive to the basket and fillet this one in? Like, Nikola Jokic's bag, and I know NBA players have a problem with that, but Nikola Jokic's bag is so deep. Rudy Gobert, there's only so much he can do. Literally, if I'm Coach Finch of the Minnesota Timberwolves and Rudy Gobert comes over to the bench, hey, good game, bro. I ain't smacking. Like, good game, bro. Just sit down. You did nothing wrong. This man is just absolutely just barbecuing you, and you got to eat it. You got to eat it. That was kind of a weird mashup there, but you got to eat. You got to take it. You got to take it, because Nikola Jokic has just been absolutely dominant down low in the post. I don't care if it's Rudy Gobert, Karl-Anthony Towns, Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards. He doesn't care. Nikola Jokic is going down there and is putting in work, and that's what you got to love to see for this Denver Nuggets team. We got to get into Bronny James. Bronny James talks about playing with his father, and look, I do got to put some context in here, because the title up top might look a little weird considering Bronny James's response. The reporter, which I think did a great job in answering and asking this question, because he starts off with, hey, we've been talking about your dad, and we've been talking to your dad for almost a year and a half. We never got your take about playing with your dad. Has it ever been a dream of yours? That was the exact question. Has it ever been a dream of yours to play in the NBA with your father? Here goes Bronny James and his response to the question.
No, never. My dream has always just been to put my name out, make a name for myself, and of course, get to the NBA, which is everyone's end goal that is here. And I never thought about just playing with my dad, but of course he's brought it up a couple times. But yeah, I don't think about it much.
He could care less. This man can care less. Now, honestly, he does mention earlier in the interview that his goal when he gets to the NBA is trying to separate himself from being LeBron James Jr., like for being LeBron James' son. You know, he wants to be known as Bronny James. You know, that's what he wants to be recognized as. You know, we don't talk about Klay Thompson's father when we talk about just his game and how he's playing. You know, we don't talk about other guys. We talk about Austin Rivers' father, but that's because he's coaching. We don't talk about Doc Rivers' NBA career and how can he match up. No, we don't, or can he be better? Domantas Sabonis. You know, I can go on and so forth. You know, with different athletes, different NBA players that are second generation, third generational talents, and just want to separate themselves from their dad. I think one person that's done really, really great at that is Domantas Sabonis. I'm spacing on how to pronounce his dad's last name. It's AVD something. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Young kid here. But Domantas Sabonis' father was actually really, really dope, really solid for the Portland Trail Blazers. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know for a fact, I feel it in my gut, he played for the Portland Trail Blazers. And Domantas Sabonis came through, and we don't even talk about his father. We do when it's, you know, all good and sunshiny when they're in the playoffs and, you know, you need a story to tell. But outside of that, Domantas Sabonis, we know him as Domantas Sabonis. A singular career, a single man himself, and he does the job when he gets on the court. And that's what Bronny James is trying to do, separate himself from his father.
Is it Arvidas?
Arvidas
Sabonis?
there it goes. Yes. I was like, because I always tried to spell it, and even then, I was just like, screw it, man. Like, this is like, I'm just going to ruin this completely.
I've got him here in a Lithuania jersey, or Latvia jersey.
Really?
I guess that's his home country, is Latvia?
Yeah, I want to say so. But did he play for the Portland Trail Blazers?
Latuva or something. I don't know. That's a weird name.
Did he play for the Portland Trail Blazers, though, right?
I don't know. I don't see that. Let me check his Wikipedia.
Yeah, I'm like, I just see him in a Portland Trail Blazers uniform.
Oklahoma City Thunder, Indiana Pacers, and Sacramento Kings is his NBA career.
No Portland Trail Blazers. Indiana Pacers, wow.
Yeah.
I got to, damn.
2017 to 2022.
Wait, when?
I'm on Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah. I was like,
his dad doesn't have a Wikipedia.
Oh, man. I need to... Now I'm seeing that because it's going to bother me. It's going to absolutely bother me. I need to see this man
I found it.
In a Portland.
Yeah, he's in a Blazers jersey.
Okay, he's in a Blazers jersey. Okay, cool. I was like, I just had to get that validation because I'm like, I can just see it. But he had a nice shot, though. For a guy that played back in the day in his time when centers weren't really known for the jump shots, hey, he had a nice jump shot on him.
That's the only team he played for in the NBA is the Portland Trail Blazers. He played mostly overseas.
Okay, cool. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So, because he was actually pretty dominant. It wasn't really a long tenured career either, I don't think, in the NBA. So, Mr. Sabonis, he came Arvidas, there it goes. Because I was like, I can always see his name. There's so many guys in the NBA. I'm just scared. Because their names are just so like, oh man, there's one. Oh, that's just an electric three-point shooter. He's so cold, and he has like a three-parter last name that it's like I'm spacing on. And I apologize for you guys, and I'll find it out in a minute. But we do got to continue real fast because I'm actually slacking here for you guys. Kirk Cousins. We heard that he was not really upset, but we heard he was a little disgruntled that the Falcons picked Michael Penix Jr. in the first round of the NFL draft that we covered here at WTSM TV. We finally got Kirk Cousins' thoughts on the issue. Here goes Kirk Cousins explaining why.
Yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward. I was at the team event at the stadium, was just driving back, and they called me and just said, hey, we're gonna take a quarterback here at the pick, and I said, okay. And that was pretty straightforward. Yeah, I think it's similar to the call that Mark D'Antonio made to me in 2000. That would have been 2007. And he said, "Hey, we're going to offer another quarterback. I know you've signed Nick Foles. You guys are going to have to compete." And it's like, okay, let's just take the next step. And then I was drafted right with Robert Griffin, and it's, hey, you're going there with another quarterback in the same class, okay. So this is more. This is more the norm than the exception, and I think the response is that this is the exception, when really, if you know my story, this is more the norm of the journey, and it's more of a, okay, let's just start working and start building together.
I think he was upset. I think he was a little upset. By the way, you got to throw this out here. It was Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. But he was Chris Wayne Jackson, and I swear this man had a jump shot that was just absolutely beautiful. So I just had to throw that out there real fast. Just had to get that out of my chest. Kirk Cousins. I do think he was feeling some type of way, as he mentioned the history of him coming to different teams, and then the teams coming through and bringing in either a young quarterback or a quarterback that's trying to make a comeback that gets to this league. And I want to say Kirk Cousins is sick of it, but at the end of the day, look at the money that he got paid. All that money that is guaranteed to him when he slides over to Atlanta, or he's in Atlanta now, when he finally plays an NFL game. Unreal. It's absolutely unreal. And I think he'll hold his position for at least a solid year or two, a year and a half. That's, God forbid injuries don't take place, but I think he'll be fine. I think Kirk Cousins will be dope. I think there will be no problems with Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix Jr., and this Atlanta Falcons team. It's just a matter of, will Kirk Cousins be willing to train and be willing to help out the younger quarterback in Michael Penix Jr. We hear a lot from Aaron Rodgers. We heard a lot from Brett Favre, where it was just like they didn't want to teach the younger guys anything. They just wanted you to go out there. Hey, I learned by myself. I learned on my own. You got to learn on your own as well. There's a lot of guys, a lot of quarterbacks that play by that rule. Does Kirk Cousins do that? It's just a matter of time. It's just a wait and see situation here, but I think he'll be fine. Reggie Miller, man. Now I like Reggie Miller when he does play by play. I like Reggie Miller as a player. I watch his highlights, but like I said, Pacer hater, I got no choice but to always sneak diss him and always got to put in my 2 cents whenever Reggie Miller does something crazy, which is today. Reggie Miller, obviously we talked about him yesterday because he had a sneaky diss towards LeBron James. And when he was talking about Anthony Edwards, he said Anthony Edwards takes responsibility. He doesn't throw his teammates under the bus like some of the guys on your Mount Rushmore today. So and obviously with LeBron James being one of the best players in the league right now, and also being one of the veterans as well, he's on that Mount Rushmore. You're not thinking of Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Well, you probably might think of Kevin Durant when it comes to that, but you're not thinking of Steph Curry. But you kind of could tell it was shifted towards LeBron James. Here goes Reggie Miller with Dan Patrick trying to explain what his diss, who his diss was towards.
Is it a shot at LeBron? Absolutely not, because I've seen him do the same thing Atman has done too.
Okay, is there a player in your head then? If you say it's not LeBron. Okay, but do you have a player in mind? Because you said current Mount Rushmore. If it's not LeBron,
I will leave it up to interpretation.
Yeah, but that's part of the problem. Now we bring in all these other people. So you took a shot at maybe LeBron or KD because they didn't take ownership or blame for the coaches getting. How about you just nod your head? Was it LeBron?
No, stop it. Well,
I thought that.
Everyone thinks that everything evolves around LeBron. It's not. Everything does not evolve around LeBron, guys.
You can tell Reggie Miller is kind of trying to shade LeBron James in this instance. They brought up so many names: Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and he's just like, no, well, nothing. It doesn't really revolve around LeBron James. Who else is this towards? When you had LeBron James throughout that whole round one playoff, the whole round one playoff round with the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James made it well known that D'Angelo Russell, Darvin Ham, and the rest of the team was a problem. They were the reason why they were losing. Well, if you're not paying attention to detail, I mean, I've never been on a championship team that's never paid attention to detail. Yeah. That's LeBron James. He's throwing his teammates under the bus. You can see him take responsibility, and you have his huge fan base to do that for him. You have the fan base come out. Oh, well, LeBron James, he always takes responsibility. Here goes a 7-minute clip throughout his 20-year career of him taking responsibility. Stuff like that. Irritating, unnecessary. But Reggie Miller, you got to stand on it, man. You got to 100% stand on what you mean. Stand on what you said there in that instant. Because the fact that you just kind of shied away from it, oh, well, I'm going to just leave it up to your interpretation. Well, why? Why? I mean, I feel like you're saying what a lot of guys are saying right now. Just come out and say it. Draymond Green isn't going to say it. They're best friends. You know, so Draymond Green doesn't want to lose his spot with LeBron James. There's a lot of people that won't speak up about what LeBron James does. Stephen A. Smith, you know, I love me some LeBron James, but every time there's a situation going on, oh, I need them to trade to the Lakers because I need LeBron James. You know, like they're always coming into the help or always coming to rescue LeBron James in certain instances, which can get insanely annoying. So when you look at it, I really want to believe that just the media in totality have the same opinion that Reggie Miller had. They just got to be bold enough to come out here and say it. So look, thank you guys for tuning in and watching Factor Foolishness, man. We had to get this one out of here. If you missed the Maestro interview, you can watch that here, WTSLTV.com as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you at the end.